Prime Minister Mark Carney says he wants to find 7.5% spending cuts in the budget that's coming out in November. That should be fairly easy. One of the big places to look, of course, and I've talked about this before, is the civil service. Under the Trudeau government, the civil service grew by 40% in 10 years. 40%. I mean, are you getting 40% better service out of the federal government than you did 10 years ago? Obviously not. And the payroll for the federal government increased by 70%, which means all those new people they were hiring and all the people that they already had were getting big raises throughout that entire decade. So that would be the first place that Mark Carney should look. But he also needs to look at the bonuses. And he needs to look at how many civil servants are making more than $150,000 a year. Thanks to Grant Jackson, who's an MP from Manitoba, we now know that there are 9,455 federal civil servants in job categories where the minimum pay is $150,000 a year. That means 9,455 who can't make less than $150,000 a year. That's a lot of people, almost 10,000 people. And we also know that 80% of federal managers, and that includes the ones who are making under $150,000 a year, 80% of federal managers got bonuses averaging $17,000 a year last year. For what? They get those bonuses even when their own departments don't meet the performance standards that they themselves set out. So think about this. In most of the federal departments and agencies, at the beginning of the year, the executives and managers set out the standards by which those agencies have to perform. And about 48% of them don't meet those goals. They still get bonuses. It is now automatic in the federal civil service that they get high wages and bigger bonuses. But if you think that's bad, just wait till you hear what the Canadian Taxpayers Federation uncovered about bonuses in Crown corporations, the federal government's owned companies. Last year, the Crowns paid out $190 million in bonuses. Via Rail, where they lost $385 million, paid 100% of its executives bonuses averaging $110,000. Every executive for Via Rail got paid a bonus, and the average bonus was $110,000 for a company that's losing money hand over fist. The Canadian Business Development Bank paid its executives an average bonus of $216,000. The Canadian Infrastructure Bank, which is a colossal flop. It was a bank set up by the Trudeau government to finance infrastructure programs across the country, and it has failed year after year after year to give away its free money. It has been recommended for disbandment several times, and yet they gave their executives an average of $197,000 in bonuses. They're not doing anything, I guess, because they're kind of busy spending that extra $197,000. CMHC gave its executives $42,000. The Bank of Canada, about $34,000. And you know about the CBC's bonuses. You know the CBC was giving 1,100 of its people about $14,000 a year in bonuses, but that got to be controversial. And because of the controversy, they said, we're going to get rid of the bonuses. We've heard the public, we've heard the MPs, we know we need to get rid of them. But what did they do? They took about $14,000 a year in bonuses to 1,100 people and converted that into $30,000 in new higher pay last year. And that's now worked into their salaries year after year after year. It's not a bonus now. It's something that they get automatically. And it affects their pensions. Bonuses didn't. But now that they're making about $30,000 a year more, that means at the end of their careers, their pensions will be higher. If you want to find a place to start cutting to 7.5% of federal spending, I think you found it. It's Crown Corporation bonuses and civil service pay. For Post Media, I'm Lorne Gunter.